back. There's nobody watching this yet, but I don't know if there will be at all. But it does go to your normal channel afterwards, so I will pretend like there is people. Alright, so first up, welcome back. I did make a video today, but unfortunately when I started editing it, I realised it's pretty much exactly the same as what I did yesterday, except there was no goat on the car. It was just grinding, nothing special. The blade's a bit flatter now, but I decided I'm just going to have like a little montage once it's finished and show you how I did the extra steps. I really hate multiple part videos, but seems like that's what you got to do. Alright guys, so basically I am talking about what I'm going to do on my property. Now I'm on 10 acres. We have 2.5 acres fenced off on the front of the property. Then we have 5 acres in the centre, and that's the area with the dam, and then we've got another 2.5 acres at the back. So it's 10 acres in total, 40,007 square metres. The property is 103 metres long and 397 metres deep. Wide and deep. And yeah, our house is set 73 metres back from the fence. That's the furthest we can get the building company to put it, with the power still being free. So yeah, at this point in time, the only plants we're growing is butternut pumpkin, or butternut squash, whatever you call it. Some raspberry and Chinese water spinach. That's kind of gone feral. It's taken over the dam. A couple of videos where I had the dam on there, you can see that it's blanketed the dam. But the plan is, moving forward, we're going to stop giving the goats free range of the house yard, mainly because they're scratching up the car and stuff like that, and it's just, we can't have visitors anymore. They have to park out on the road, and it's just not good. Something just happened, flash red. Anyway, so we're going to separate an area off for the goats and the chickens specifically, and then fence another area off for the garden. Now I'll just show you quickly where that's going to go. So we're in my workshop now. If you can see that cut up water tank in the center there, just past that star picket, that's going to be the center of the market garden. It'll be 35 meters from the fence back, and it'll be 55 meters across. I chose that area because it's close enough that I can have powered irrigation, so I don't have to hand water everything, and I can just do an overhead sprinkler in the center, and that should cover majority of the area that we're going to grow on. It'll also leave a driveway from the front property to the back gate. We are going to put the goats in the middle paddock, but we also want to have the option to use it as an adjustment and rent it out. Basically all this is doing is trying to generate some form of income. At the moment I'm on income protection insurance. That runs out very soon, and I'll move on to the dole pension because of my eyesight, and it's not that much money. It's not enough to survive on, so I will try and earn income from home because I can't drive or anything like that. The idea is to grow salad greens mainly, any kind of salad green with a date to maturity less than 60 days. I had a look on eBay, and local old school only. Hey Paul, how are you, mate? Yeah, so I had a look on eBay and local hardware stores. So I've decided to make my garden beds 10 meters long and 90 or 85 centimeters wide. That way I'll be able to get the cloth for it to put underneath to suffocate weeds, and I'll be able to get netting and shade cloth to keep out insects and to shield it from the summer heat. I have done an online permaculture design course, and I've done a small farm management course, which was kind of useless, to be honest. It was set in America, and it was more how to mitigate winter and snow and all that, and it didn't really help me. But my ideal plan is to get this market garden up and running, get the goats separated, and the three ventures I want to concentrate on to try and earn some cash: blacksmithing, chickens for eggs, and the market garden. So salads are my main deal. I probably only eat 3 salads a week if I'm lucky, but I do have a green smoothie every morning with 2 or 3 big handfuls of greens, ginger, garlic, all that stuff. So I'll be growing all that. Even kale tastes like crap, but it's healthy for you. Brussels sprouts, just so I can chase my missus around the house with them because she fucking hates them. Yeah. So as far as chickens go, I'm going to breed black copper marrons and aracanas or aracunas or whatever they are. South African bird. They kind of lay like a greeny egg, and leghorns, because I like the white eggs as well. That way I'll have some darker eggs, some greenish eggs, and some you can stick your Brussels sprouts, yeah. Mate, they're really good if you roast them with a bit of bacon and some balsamic vinegar. Even my missus will eat them, but she still doesn't like them. If anything else, they fit perfectly in the slingshot, so I can upset some birds with it. Yeah, so tomatoes, capsicums, nope. Tomatoes, capsicums, eggplant, and salad greens are the things that I'll concentrate on. But I'll also plant stuff that has a longer than 60 day to maturity around, because I've got 10 acres, I may as well use it. I'm going to get a truckload of, they call it hummus, and it's called forest mulch, I think. Good for throwing, yeah. Forest mulch is pretty cheap apparently, so I'm going to get some of that delivered and spread it out over the area where I want to put beds. And I'm going to get some pine wood chips delivered as well, and I'm going to put them in the middle paddock, fence them off just roughly so the goats can kind of get in there. I'm going to try one of the permaculture things I learnt about, like a no water, no till, no weeding kind of garden, just to grow stuff that'll take longer than 60 days. But anyway, I'll show you where I'm going to build the chook pen in a second. I got the design off another YouTube channel. I can't remember which one it was, but it's a brilliant idea. Basically, it's off the ground. It captures water, so it's self-watering. It's got enough space there for a month's worth of food for 20 birds, just using the L-bend PVC piping, and you just fill it from the top and it siphons through, I guess. And it's the perfect height that you can push a wheelbarrow underneath and quickly muck it out. So less work, and it's basically I'm trying to make everything as easy as possible for myself. But anyway, yeah, no one's watching anymore. See you, Paul. So yeah, some of my new projects that I'll be doing to help me with this endeavour, I'm going to build myself a broad fork. So it's going to be roughly 1 metre wide. Oh, you're still here? Oh, okay. Yeah, so it's going to be roughly 1 metre wide. I'm going to use, I've got a bit here somewhere. Hold the phone. Going to use this big chunky rebar that I have. It's probably 30mm round. This is the first thing I ever heat up and beat with a stick. I beat with a hammer, sorry. I was trying to make tong blanks out of this. Didn't really work too well. But yeah, so using those, I'll hopefully be able to forge that down. Put a recess in one end. Weld it to a bit of RHS or square tubing, and make myself a metre wide fork to push into the ground, pull back, and just decompress the soil, because it's pretty well compressed here. They had horses on it before we bought it, and they did a fair bit of damage to the land. But it's nice and green at the moment. Had plenty of rain, but we do have a very clay-based soil, and it's easy to dig right now, which is why I'm thinking about doing this. Not thinking, I'm definitely going to do it. But yeah. Alright guys, so I'll switch the camera view around and go for a bit of a walk, and I'll show you where I'm going to put the chook shed. So yeah, that white thing in the center there, that's where the garden bed will be the center of. So there's the house, there's the garden bed. Quick walk out of there. It's all easily accessible. And where those white IBCs are there, that's where the elevated chook pen will be. That's where the current chook pen is. But this one will be a lot easier, and this one will be a lot easier to use. And oh god damn, I need to do something with my septic tank because it's water in the grass at the moment and it smells terrible. So yeah, it'll be a lot easier to use, a lot easier to clean, and I'll be able to get back more of the organic matter, the chook shit and the hay and the wood chips that I use for bedding. And over here is where I'm going to build the fence, so I can keep the chickens and the goats separate from the rest of the yard, just so I can kind of control where they are. So I'll just switch over the camera again. So way up there, that's the front gate. This is the boundary, so there's 35 meters from the post at the front gate to the corner post, and then there's 112 meters down to the pedestrian gate down there. So the plan would be to put a straight line down there with a gate in the center, and keep the goats separate from the house yard so they don't scratch up the car, they don't climb on the water tanks, they don't shit on the roof and contaminate our water. Which they haven't yet, luckily. They've only been on the roof once, and I got them off pretty quick. But yeah, I couldn't see the comments that just came up, but I'll see if I can. I seen that they were there, I just couldn't see them. Oh, someone's biting me. Fucking ants. Yeah, well, we've had our annual rainfall in the last, well, sorry, we've had half that annual rainfall this year already, and we're only 3 months in, so very green. Luckily the goats are walking manure machines, little pellets of little sultanas everywhere. When it rains they pretty much melt away. I don't really feed the goats or the chickens anything other than, well, I don't feed them anything really. They get a bale of hay once a month, that's about it. Chickens live off grasshoppers and whatever scraps we throw out the door that the dogs don't get, but yeah. So anyway guys, that's the plan. I'll finish the knife and show you once it's done. I'll do a little montage of it. I'll still film it. Got a memory card for my phone now, so I've got 32 gigs, so I don't have to delete everything after I make the video. Like I said, today's video pretty much looked exactly the same as yesterday's, except it was more boring because the goat didn't jump on the car today. But yeah, alright, so that's it. I'm also going to have a crack at growing some desert roses. Yeah, miniature goats are alright. They can't really jump too high, but I do have miniature cross dairy, I think the breed's called Sennen. They're pretty jumpy, but the miniatures are pretty well behaved. Yeah, you don't need that much room for them. Like, they don't even really eat the grass. They browse more than graze. So all the trees are perfectly leveled off. It kind of looks pretty cool, actually. Yeah, they pick at everything. They eat the weeds more than they eat the grass. But they will eat the grass eventually. They just prefer the weeds. Yeah, you got a Staffy, don't you, Paul? That's right. I remember having his little runarounds. American Staffy, yeah, cool. Yeah, so yeah, I got two Marimas. I don't know if you've seen the movie called Oddball, where the white dog protects their penguins. It's an Australian movie. Um, yeah, so that's what they are. I met a guy that worked on that film, and they were talking about how they knew that they would that actually work, and he said that he uses them to protect chickens. And he reckons, what's a chicken? What's a chicken but a penguin in a dinner suit? So, a penguin, a chicken in a tuxedo. So, yeah, but they're good dogs. Goats are fun, man. They kind of scream at you. Don't bottle feed them because it's if you get a friendly one that's not on the bottle, it's all right. But if you've got to bottle feed them, it's going to be the longest 3 months of your life. 3 times a day to start with, and you move up to 2. And when you wean them, mate, I get up to have a whiz in the middle of the night, and I drop the toilet seat, and you bang it, meh, meh, and they bar off for the next 3 hours. It was terrible trying to wean them off the bottle. I got Muscovy ducks as well. I got 3 of them. Got a big boy. He's huge. He's pretty old now, and the youngest white dog likes to chase him under the house and stir him up a bit. But yeah, the chickens have got a lot of attitude. Only one will come near me. The other ones scatter. But yeah, how much land are you on, Paul? Nope. Okay. Yeah. So good times. So yeah, my dream as a child was always to be a farmer. I kind of gave up on it a little bit. Oh, here we are. Cheers for the knife build stuff. Yeah, I'm terrible at it, but I will get better. 800 square meters, that's plenty for a little miniature goat, especially if you've got a fair bit of grass area or plenty of weeds. But they'll get in. I was watching your workshop tour or garage tour. They'll get in amongst all the cars and stuff and clean it up. Lamb would be good as well, but they mainly eat the grass. But at least you have a spit at the end of the year, you know, good Christmas dinner. Same with it. If you're going to get a goat, I recommend getting 2. Yeah, I'd recommend getting 2. They're pretty sociable animals, but yeah, they might get along well with the Staffy. So yeah, I've got some ringed Gidgee that I bought from the Sydney Knife Show. I'm going to use for the handle. I'm still not entirely sure how I'm going to do the handle yet, so I pretty much ground the knife to where I want it, and now I've got to get the tang reduced and in the shape and everything that I need. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, new on each year. Well, you can get if you want. I don't know if you want, but you can get a sheep called a Dorper. They're self-shedding. They're pretty good as well. They breed pretty easy. You just got to get a ram out for a couple of days, and no, it's all good. I'm happy that someone's watching. Hopefully this will boost up my minutes. How many? Do you know? Have you with your 10,000 views on your power hammer build? Have you reached it yet? Dorper. Yeah, that's close. I think. I think it might be ER at the end. DORPER. Yeah, self-shedding. You don't have to shear them, and they're pretty good too. They're pretty good eating. My property is actually named after a breed of sheep called Southdown, or Americans call them baby dolls. They're very rare in Australia. There's only 4 or 5 breeders, 2 in Queensland that I know of. They got a full furry face. If you have a look at my Facebook page, on the Southdown Waters page, there's a couple pictures there. There's two baby dolls or Southdowns, and a Merino cross. The Merino cross was a mongrel thing. I step foot in the paddock and it would jump back fence and would have come back till I was gone. So, that bloody thing. Yeah, Dorpers, self-shedding, good meat. They normally have twins as well, so you get 2 feeds out of it, and they're pretty cheap. I reckon you probably only pay $100 for a pregnant one. You may have to substitute with a bit of hay every now and then, but shouldn't be too much trouble, man. And then a bloke like you can knock up a spit in nature. Just run the current backwards through an alternator, and you've got a nice little spit motor. No, not enough messages. You're the only bloke here, mate. What are they talking about? 20 minutes. Anyway, guys. Paul, thanks for watching. Anybody else who watches this in the future, I hope you enjoyed. I think I'll set it up so I do one of these a week and just talk nonsense or whatever. But yeah, thank you for participating. Really appreciate it. And yeah, bloody computers. Alright, mate. See you later. I think I stopped it. Yes.